They don't need to put a gun to your head anymore. The war moved from the trenches to your mind, and, honestly, most people never noticed. During World War II, nations discovered something far more powerful than tanks or bombs: psychological manipulation. Propaganda, persuasion, and subtle influence became precision tools, engineered to steer human behavior on a mass scale. The scary part: those same tactics didn't disappear when the war ended. They just evolved. And now they live in your feed, your shopping habits, even your emotions. Welcome to Wisdom from the Frontlines, where we uncover the forgotten tactics and survival truths from the greatest conflicts in history. Today, we're stepping deep into the invisible battlefield, the one inside your mind. World War II wasn't just fought with bullets, it was fought with ideas. Every major power, Britain, Germany, the United States, Japan, had massive psychological operations running full throttle. Posters, films, and radio broadcasts weren't just to inform, they were designed to program. The goal was simple: shape thought. Convince soldiers they were fighting for something sacred. Convince civilians that sacrifice was noble. Convince enemies that resistance was useless. And the shocking truth is, the masterminds behind these psychological campaigns learned exactly how to bypass logic and speak straight to emotion. That's the same blueprint used in modern advertising, social media, and politics today. During World War II, propaganda didn't just spread information, it triggered instincts. One of the most powerful emotions used was fear. Governments knew that fear could make people comply faster than reason ever could. Air raid drills, radio warnings, even newspaper headlines were crafted to heighten a sense of danger, so people would follow orders without hesitation. Today, that same trigger runs the modern world. News outlets, marketing campaigns, and even social media algorithms feed on fear. Breaking news banners, clickbait headlines, doom scrolling. It's the modern air raid siren. You're being conditioned to react, not think. The tactic that once mobilized nations now drives engagement rates. One of the most genius psychological tricks born from World War II propaganda was controlled opposition, the illusion that you had a choice, when really both options led to the same goal. Allied and Axis forces both used it. In Nazi Germany, propaganda offered two sides, the patriotic citizen versus the so-called traitor, but both served the regime's control. Fast forward to now. Companies and governments use this all the time. You think you're choosing freely, but you're often being guided within invisible walls. Coke or Pepsi, left or right, this brand or that influencer. It's all a funnel designed to direct your attention and behavior. The war for your choices never ended. It just put on a prettier uniform. In the 1940s, Joseph Goebbels, Germany's Minister of Propaganda, famously said, "Repeat a lie often enough, and it becomes the truth." That one line summarizes one of the most powerful psychological weapons ever used. It's how entire populations were convinced to obey, fight, and even die for false narratives. Repetition builds belief. It bypasses logic by hammering familiarity into your subconscious. Modern-day marketers, influencers, and even algorithms still weaponize it. When you see a product, idea, or slogan everywhere, it starts to feel true. The digital age just made repetition infinite. Back then, it was posters and speeches. Today, it's endless scrolling. During World War II, uniforms, titles, and symbols were more than just fabric and metals. They were psychological anchors. People, obeyed those who looked official. Propaganda posters often featured soldiers, doctors, or leaders to lend instant credibility. The message didn't have to be logical. It just had to come from someone who, looked like they knew. Modern life still runs on that same reflex. Blue check marks, lab coats and commercials, verified accounts. Polished logos. They're kind of like digital uniforms. They tap into the same instinctive trust built on appearance, not truth. We're hardwired to listen to authority, and honestly, the system knows it. Another World War II discovery? Emotion beats logic every single time. Whether it was a patriotic poster, a heartbreaking story of a soldier's sacrifice, or a rallying speech, propaganda didn't aim to inform. It aimed to move. Modern marketing inherited that playbook. Brands sell feelings, freedom, belonging, confidence, not just products. Political speeches stir emotions before they deliver facts. Social media keeps you emotionally charged because, well, emotions keep you engaged. The war showed that emotion can control behavior, and no one's ever stopped using that weapon. After the war ended, the term propaganda got rebranded. It became public relations. The very experts who crafted wartime messaging were hired by corporations and governments to manage public opinion in peacetime. Edward Bernays, the so-called father of PR, was one of them. A man who turned World War I psychological tactics into peacetime persuasion. That's how psychological warfare quietly merged with marketing media and mass communication. What started in the trenches evolved into a system that shapes how you think, buy, vote, and behave every single day. If there's one lesson to steal from the front lines, it's this. Awareness is your only defense. When you feel a strong emotional pull from a message, ask yourself, who benefits if I believe this? When you see the same idea repeated everywhere, question, why now? The moment you slow down and think, you break the spell. The soldiers of World War II had to learn to resist psychological attacks from the enemy. Today, we fight the same kind of war, but the battlefield is your attention, and the bullets are ideas. The real winners are those who stay awake while others sleepwalk through the noise. World War II changed how humanity wages war forever, but the most dangerous weapon that came out of it wasn't the atomic bomb. It was the mastery of the human mind. The powers that learned to shape perception didn't retire. They evolved into media giants, political machines, and corporate empires. And that's why this matters. Because understanding these hidden World War II mind hacks isn't just history. It's survival. It's how you take back control in a world still using the same psychological blueprints that once controlled nations. So, if you found this insight valuable, hit that subscribe button, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and remember, the greatest battle now isn't out there. It's in here. Welcome to Wisdom from the Frontlines, where we uncover the truth history tried to bury.